You've tuned into Dark Echoes. I'm A.O. White. Tonight's story is more than an urban legend. It's a recorded event. A true vanishing. A voice that was never supposed to be heard. Some say, if you listen all the way through, you'll start to hear things. So, if you got your headphones on, if you're alone, consider this your final warning. This is the last broadcast. Evan Sharp was a night owl. Brilliant, odd, obsessed with EVP, electronic voice phenomenon. He hosted Graveyard Voices from a crumbling brick studio in a mountain town so small it didn't show up on most maps. WXXR 89 barely reached past the forest, but that didn't stop people from listening or writing in. Most of his listeners weren't local. They came from places like Detroit, Tallahassee, and New Orleans. They claimed the signal reached them in places it shouldn't. Others said they never turned on their radios. They just heard Evan's voice whispering through the floorboards or pouring out of TVs on the wrong channel. Evan encouraged the weirdness. He called it frequency for the forgotten. But everything changed on October 30th, 1994, when he introduced something called the Black Tape. The Black Tape was mailed in a nondescript envelope. No return address, no note, just the tape and a scrap of fabric sewn with black thread. Evan said he played it only once before his airtime. What he heard, he couldn't explain. But he felt it. It wasn't a voice in the way you understand voices. It sounded inside you. A woman sobbing, then laughing, then speaking in tongues, but layered under her voice was scratching, like nails on the inside of a coffin. Evan told listeners the tape was recorded by a man, Carson Vale, in 1963. Ham, a radio operator who tried to contact the spirit of his wife after she hung herself in their attic, succeeded. But 3 days later, he gouged out his eyes and scrawled one sentence onto the wall in his own blood. She only needs your ears.
I'm not alone tonight. I haven't been since I played this. If you're hearing this, pray you don't understand what it means.
Listeners described a sound like being underwater, and then suddenly dragged underwater. A caller, Martha James from Duluth, said she woke up in the middle of the broadcast, her mouth full of black hair. And still, the signal didn't cut. Evan's voice came back on, but something was wrong.
I opened the door. She's using my voice. My throat burns. She says there's something more than death. She says there's noise beneath the silence.
Campus security found the studio empty. The equipment was on. The mic was live. The only thing in the room was the black tape, snapped in half, oozing something thick and tar-like. No blood, no struggle, just a mirror shattered, and a message written backwards on the wall. Play me again. After that, strange things started happening to those who heard the broadcast. A man in Maryland walked into traffic and said she was whispering through the red lights. A nurse in Oregon was found in a psych ward after scratching her ears until the skull was exposed. A 12-year-old girl gouged her baby brother's eyes out and kept repeating, he wasn't listening. The radio station was shut down, its towers torn down by state order. But on Halloween night, between midnight and 1 a.m., old radios in the valley come to life. They didn't play music, just the click, click, click of fingernails on the glass, and sometimes the voice. A new legend formed. If you recorded her voice and played it aloud, she follows the sound back to you. Not all at once. First your dreams filled with static, then you hear breathing in your shower, and eventually you see her reflection, not your own. Not in mirrors, in dark screens, in black windows, in puddles. She waits because all she needs is a voice. I got a recording. It's real. It's been passed around, copied, degraded, but the essence is still there. I'm going to play it for you. I can't guarantee what will happen, but if you hear knocking after this, don't open the door. Not even if they say your name, especially if they say your name. Thank you for bringing me back. If you're still with us, you heard the last broadcast, but some say it's never really over. If your lights flicker, if you hear static in the quiet room, don't panic. Just don't listen too closely. If you dare to hear more stories like this, more truths that shouldn't stay buried, like, follow, and subscribe to Dark Echoes with A.L. White. New episodes drop every week, but some of them come back on their own. Tell a friend if you want them to sleep with the lights on. And if you hear a voice calling you from the static tonight, don't answer.